What's up everybody, it's Mike back again today, MF Vape. Thanks for tuning into the channel and welcome to another new, and I hope you're all doing very well. Right, what have we got for you today guys? We have got another clone for you, and this is a RTA, and it's called the BYKA V7 Nano. And I purchased this from 3F Vape, and it's an unbranded clone. And I paid $20 for it. The original's over £100, maybe even 140. But this is fully loaded. It comes with a lot of spares. It's 23 millimeters in diameter. It's quite long, this one though, 62 millimeters including the drip tip. But yeah, it comes with a whole host of spares and stuff like that. So without further ado, we'll go down low, give it an unboxing. We're going to put a build in it today. I'm going to show you a little micro core build, and then we'll come back up top and I'll tell you what I really think of this BYKA V7 Nano clone. Okay, I'll see you down low in a bit. Right, we're down at the table guys. We have the clone of the Vape Systems BYKA V7 Nano. So this is the style RTA. So there's not much going on around the box. And inside the box we have a spare polycarbonate tank section with threading on the inside. Holds 3 ml of juice. We also have a stainless steel version, but obviously with this you can't see how much juice you've got left, so I haven't tried this one out yet, but it's there should you so wish. But obviously you're going to have a threading on some metal, so that's a better thing. We get quite a few spares in this one. Get this little tool here, and I'll show you what that does in a second. We get the obligatory, we got the flathead blue screwdriver. We also have these nifty little airflow plugs here. So this one here I believe is 1 millimeter, so you can reduce the airflow. This one here, I think it's 2.5, maybe 3 millimeters, and installed already. I think I've got the one that's about 1.5 millimeters, 1.6, something like that. And you do get 2 spare flathead screws. They're nice screws, these ones. And also a plethora of O-rings, because this tank has got quite a few parts to it, which I'll show you right now. So it comes in a little bag. Not a bad little box this really, for like a clone RTA that cost about $20. You're getting a lot of stuff for your money. And here's what she looks like. Really good looking RTA, this one. We've got this 510 drip tip, which has got your heat fins on there for dissipating heat. You've got 2 O-rings around the bottom of the drip tip. This I don't know what it's made from, some sort of plastic Delrin type thing. You've got your reduced ball going down there, and that just screws back on like so. It's quite a lengthy drip tip, this. This RTA is 23 millimeters in diameter, and it's 62 from top to bottom. So it's quite a tall device, and it's, if you take the drip tip off, it's 47. So this drip tip is a good 15 millimeters or so. It's made from stainless steel, the bulk of it, and we've also got the PEI or polycarbonate section there. I'll just dismantle it for you. Well, actually, we'll have a look on the bottom first. So we have got your, looks like a gold-plated 510 with an O-ring or a peak insulator inside there. I think it's peak actually, I have had it out before. And we've got the BYKA V7, it says it's 23mm there. And there's the Vape Systems logo, so it is a bit of a one-to-one copy, this one. We'll look at the airflow actually while we're here. You can see there is a stopper there. But if you look on this side, we've got a range of holes, so that's it fully shut off. You've got 1 hole all the way to 6 holes to have it fully exposed. Right, so this section here this unscrews, and you've got another O-ring there, and this is where you put your e-liquid, so you fill it in through there. Now this piece here is actually a juice flow control as well, but it also removes the chimney part. So I'll just break it down for you, because this all does come apart. So those pieces come off there. It's quite stiff, this bottom section. So let's look around there. So if you did want to put like the other piece back on, you just screw it on like so, and then you put the chimney back in first, and you just screw it back together. But at least for this one you can see your juice levels. So I think we might build it like that today. But first we'll have a look at this chimney section. As you can see, you've got the underside of it there. So basically your vapor is going to be, there's not a dome going on as such, but it's going to be concentrated through this hole there, which only looks to be about 3 millimeters or so, and that's all in line all the way up the tube. So as you can imagine, you're going to get some decent flavour of this. You've got, not bad, the threading on this. I'll just show you. That just screws on like so. So it's not bad at all, the threads. We've got a nice beefy O-ring here, making the seal with the tank. And on the side here, you can see this is your juice inlet hole. There's one on each side. So as explained earlier, we've got 2 flathead screws which hold your wires in. Right, there is a very small peak insulator on the positive block, which you can just about see there. So this is your positive block, and this is your negative. I've just removed the airflow insert that you can put in there. You can run it in direct to lung mode, like with the looks like about 4 or 5 millimeters, the airflow hole there. But obviously with that chimney section, I've just found it doesn't work brilliantly in direct to lung mode. I like a nice loose mouth lung, and that's where I think this shines. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the one that I already had installed. I think it's about 1.6 or so millimeters. So this is where this little tool here comes in. So you just slot it on there like so. It's a little bit fiddly this, so let's see if I can do it on camera. You just need to screw it into there. And that went better than planned. So you just basically tighten it up, and then you can put a rod through there and tighten it a little bit more, but I think that's just about enough there. And just screw it back on here, and then we can now put a build in it. But first of all, I'm going to attempt to make a little micro coil on camera using a little coiling rod here. So there's our grading system. I'm going to use 2.5 millimeters. That's the third one up. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps. So I just like to tug on the end, just make sure it's still around the 2.5 millimeter section. So just a case of springing that on up. I'll say I'm no coil building god, obviously, but I know how to make a little micro coil. Just thought I'd do this just for any newbies out there who might be wondering how to do it. You can use the Coil Master jig if you like, but I just find when you're doing space, it's actually easier to just space them when you first go. So this is a 2.5mm inner diameter rod, and basically just clamp up both sides. And there we go. Get your snips, snip this off as close to the post as possible, and any excess you have, you just want to tuck it in around the back here to show you. Well, it's good to get a nice pair of pliers, ones that actually work. But so you just ease that around the back of the screw. Make sure it's not touching the edge of the chimney, because you don't want to have it shorting out on you. Right, so that's that. So we'll just have a look there. It looks like it's touching. I just like to have it raised, normally just about to the top of where that is. Doesn't look too bad. See what it's ohming out at. Got 0.97 at the moment, so we'll just give it a little bedding in. It's space, so it shouldn't need too much. Just light pulses. Right, and that should do you. So we'll just check. Yeah, it's 0.97 still. It's canthal, so it's quite a stable wire, so it shouldn't change the resistance. Just over 0.5 centimetre Muji here. As always, peel off the top and the bottom. Pinch one end, feed it on through. Twist, little floss, and that should do you. Like I say, this one that really does wick like a champ, so you shouldn't really go wrong here. I probably could put a little bit more cotton in this one, to tell the truth, but we'll give it a good old fluffing out to sort that out. So there we go. And then we can just tuck it on in. So it's not that finicky, this one. Just make sure it's in there, just like so. Put some juice on. So it's a really nice stack to build on, this one, as you can probably see, guys. Give it a couple of test pulses. We have vapor, so a little bit more on it. Now we're good to go. Right, today I'm going to just thread this polycarbonate tank on. But you don't want to put that on first. What you want to put on is the actual chimney, and I keep forgetting that. So you put that all the way shut, so it's closing off the juice inlets there. You put your tank back on. Now this is when you put your e-liquid in. So it holds about 3mm, I believe, this one, which is not bad for like a 1 ohm coil. Should last you a good half a day or so, or more than that if you're not a chain vapor. And then you just thread this top section back on here. Nice threads on this. Just take it off the device for the moment. Right, so that's all your juice in there. And just like the K-Fun Prime, this has got a juice flow control. So I use this as a marker. And I've measured before, if you do 5 full turns, it will completely expose that hole. But around about 2 to 3 is normally enough for me. So just go round. You've got 1, 2, round about there, so use that as a guide. And that should be about perfect for this. I've got, I think it's 60-40, 60 VG, 40 PG, and it's 6 milligram or 5 to 6 milligram this juice is. Right, so that's it guys, that's the Bicar V7 clone rebuilt and rewicked. So let's go back up top and I'll tell you what I think about this. Back up top guys, we've got the BYKA V7 Nano clone. And I wish it wasn't called that because it's so hard to remember every time I have to say it. But yeah, I've got it sitting on top of the Asmodus Colossal here. If you haven't checked out the review, please do so because this is a very top mod, this one. Anyway, on to the Nano. That's what I'm just going to call it actually because I can't remember the rest of it every time. Let's go on to the pros on this one. As you saw down below, like it's got a nice little box it comes in, and all the spares, like you've got that stainless steel tank, you've got the part stainless steel with the PEI middle bit, and at the moment I've got the full polycarbonate, because I find with this one, if you notice the juice inlet holes on here, you can see them when you're actually, because when you filled it up you have to undo this particular juice flow, and you can see it easier when you've got this particular tank on there. So yeah, it's good that it comes with all those options, so it's a big plus point. All the spares, you've got that little adapter to put the airflow control valves in there. It's just fully loaded, plethora of O-rings. I like the way it comes in all these different parts, so I find it's like quite pleasurable working out how to use this particular one. So for £20 it's very good value for money. Right, on to the vape quality. I'll just give you another pull. Now recently I've just reviewed the K-Fun Prime not that long ago, and that is one top clone of the RTA by SXK. It really is a very good mouth to lung, because I haven't done mouth to lung for a good couple of years, and I now use that every day. But I've recently reviewed the Doggy Style, and I've also got this one, and these two are a close second. The vape quality, you can take a really long draw, it keeps up the wick, and you've got those nice deep juice wells in it. You can put a lot of cotton in it if you feel. You can also use this in direct to lung mode. You take the inserts out or put the bigger insert in, and you can put some fused Claptons or just a normal Clapton build in there, and it does work. You can just adjust the airflow right up. The airflow control ring is very smooth and it's got the stoppers on it, so leads me on to the machine and the build quality. It's exceptional. All the threads are really smooth, it's very easy to undo. The juice flow works really well on this. Just close it up when you fill it up, undo it when you're ready to have a vape, and it just wicks really well. We've got no dramas, so there's no sharp edges or anything, so it's a really well built clone, this one. The screws and the build deck, it's very easy to build on. I just think it's very pleasurable. Like for your hobbyists, I think you'd enjoy building on this particular RTA. The vape quality, like I've already mentioned, is very good. It's nice, smooth, long draw. You can bump the wattage up a little bit as well, and you can take a long pull, and the flavour that really does pop on this one. The drip tip, it is okay, but I find it maybe a little bit too long. I've been finding if I put the K-Fun Prime drip tip in, I think the flavour's a little bit better, because I think that's just extending it a little bit too far. I can see why they're doing it, because especially if you're using the direct to lung with the bigger cores in there, you've got the heat dissipation fins on the top here, so maybe that's why they made it that long. But I don't necessarily think it does intensify the flavour. But I have been using it most of the time, but I just think that the shorter K-Fun one does work a little bit better. Right, we're going to the cons now. I couldn't really find much to fault about this, apart from the fact that I wish it had like a glass section that joined on to like the the stainless steel bottom, so it's screwed on like that way, because such as the doggy style, you've got stainless steel threading onto polycarbonate, and in time I can see these threads stripping. But the good thing is you can use this particular section here, which does have the stainless steel bottom, but you've still got like the plastic in the middle, and I'm not a fan of vaping on plastic tanks, because you never know whether the e-liquid might slowly degrade the plastic and it seeps into your e-liquid. I don't know if that would happen, because if it's a good grade polycarbonate, I don't expect it would, but it's just something that I'm wary of. You could always try the fully stainless steel cap, but then you're really going to struggle to find out when your juice is low. So I think that would just be one for aesthetics rather than for actual practicalities there. But all in all though, this one has got to have another big thumbs up from me. And it's not as good as the K-Pump Prime, but it's thoroughly recommend it to any of you hobbyists out there who like your mouth-to-lung style vapes, or even direct-to-lung. This can do it both, but it is better in mouth-to-lung in my opinion. So that about wraps it up for this one, guys. As with all my videos, I've got a website that you can check out, mfvape.co.uk, where I've got my Instagram feed, I've got a gallery section, I've got a blog and vlogs, and all my reviews are on there if you want to check it out. For anyone new that's watching the channel, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. There's plenty more reviews out there, and I'm also on social media, and I'll put the link on. You can see it in the description at the end of the video. Yeah, that's it for this one, but big thumbs up again to 3F Vape for this one, for the clone, because it is an unbranded one. And until next time, I'll see you again very soon. Okay, cheers.